Indy Mogul.
Hey Indy Mogulers, Griffin here. Today on the Awesome Directors Project, filmmaker Dave Seger walks us through his creative process as he prepares to shoot his music video. If you don't know who Dave Seger is, he's a talented storyteller who's worked on a lot of exciting projects, like NBC's Community. If you missed my interview with him last week, you should check that out right here. Also last week, Dave produced 5 new, very cool videos, which I featured on Monday's episode, and those are definitely worth watching if you missed them. Today, he asks the question, how do you come up with an idea for a video? And I want to know, how do you come up with your ideas? And then, we've all had this problem. You come up with an amazing idea, but it's impossible. Either it's too expensive, or you can't find someone to play the 68-year-old skateboarding professor. So, Dave recommends planning your production before you're done coming up with the idea. It sounds backwards, but I do the same thing. Remember that kid from Super 8 always screaming about production value? If you think about the locations, people, and props that you have access to that other people might not, that's your production value. And it might be the best starting point for coming up with your ideas. So tell me in the comments about your creative process, and here's Dave talking about his.
Hey everybody, it's me, Dave Seger, freelance web video maker and goofball idiot. I also happen to be your awesome director for the month of April. Lucky you. Or unlucky you, depending on your tastes. If you may remember from last week, I'm going to be making a music video for the band Flint Eastwood for their song, Rewind. Now, I haven't actually started shooting the music video yet, so I don't have much practical action to show you. I'm actually in the pre-production phase, or rather the coming up with ideas phase, which I like to call the pre-production phase. Pre-production, coming up with the idea. Where do ideas come from? Are they generated uniquely inside your brain? Do they come from ghosts? Eccentric director David Lynch subscribes to the theory that all ideas exist on a mental plane we all share called the collective unconscious, and we simply need to take the effort to access them. When you think about a concept, it's like you're fishing for the idea in this big pool we all share, trying to catch the fish you're looking for. So you get your hook and your bait, and you drop them in the water and focus on pulling up this big fish of an idea. I really like that metaphor, inspiration as like fishing for ideas. So lately I've been fishing for ideas for this music video. To get started, I just listen to the song a whole bunch, and I just let it wash over me. Think about how I'm reacting to it, what sort of images pop into my head. And that's the first and most important tip, just listen to the song. Get it on your MP3 player, drive around. I've found that when my mind is occupied by something like driving my car, my subconscious gets a chance to really drift around, and I'm more inspired. It's important to understand where the song changes and how it shifts, and so what I've started doing when I'm working on a music video is I build what I like to call a text-o-matic. It's kind of like an animatic or animated storyboards, but it's all just text. I listen for the changes in the song, the shifts from chorus to verse to bridge, and I color code those changes in Final Cut. The other thing that's nice about this is now I can go in and click on the different sections and go like, okay, so our build up is 9.5 seconds. And then we've got this sort of further musical intro. We look at that, and that's also about 9.5 seconds. So we know we have 18, 19 seconds to fill before there's any lyrics being said. Now, the song is called Rewind, so I really started picturing all these reverse motion effects, reverse slow motion, a bottle breaking in reverse, going from shattered and coming back together, someone getting punched in reverse. Listening to the lyrics, it sounds like someone wants to turn back time, go back to the way things were with someone. Maybe this is a story of some sort of lost love. So I started to think about that a little more. Now, I know I don't want to go too literal with my interpretation of the song. I don't want to hear her sing Turn Back Time and then you see a clock going in reverse, because I don't really like music videos that go too literal. And I think that's important when you're making anything, to think about the things you like. I like a music video where there's interesting effects that continue to escalate and promise that more interesting things are going to happen. I like a music video where you see the artist singing the song. I know you can make a music video where the artist isn't even in it, but I don't usually connect to those sorts of music videos. I like seeing the singer singing the song, so that's the kind of music video I want to make. Casting tips. Now you may be saying, whoa, hang on a second, Dave. Why are you talking about casting? You don't even have an idea for your music video yet. Well, I say back off. I take inspiration from all angles. You can start with an actor or actress you think is interesting and build ideas from there. Maybe your ideas require a pretty specific part that can be hard to find. Say you need an old lady or a 10-year-old boy that looks like he could be the son of your other actor. Don't feel stressed out. Don't let that discourage you, because there are options for tracking down these specific casting needs. If you live in a bigger city, there are some excellent casting services available. Breakdown Express, LA Casting, Actors Access. These sites allow you to post a breakdown or explanation of the part, offer a pay rate, and get submissions online. You could also post about the part on Craigslist, but then you're opening a whole can of weird worms. If you're lucky, you have a bunch of submissions that you have to sort through. Now, you're a low-budget production. You don't always have the time or resources to host auditions. I've found that webcam auditions can be really useful. I recently finished a music video for a band called the Miracles, and we were looking for a young actress to play our ingenue band photographer. We got a whole mess of submissions, and we had our favorites send us webcam auditions acting out the part. It really helped us narrow down the selections to the best choice. So who am I gonna cast in this Rewind music video? Now, I know I want to do a bunch of cool reverse motion stunts, so I've decided to cast my good buddy Jim Clinic. He does a lot of cool stunt videos for Channel 101, and he really wants to get into the stunt game. This is a best case scenario. You see, you want to find somebody who's as excited to perform the part as you are to direct them. Jim wants to do a lot of cool stunts and get into stunt work, and I want to shoot him doing cool stunts. A lot of the legwork of conceptualizing a video comes down to simply answering the next question. My new question became, so why is Jim doing these stunts? What's the reason? We can't just have a montage of him doing backflips in slow motion. I went to visit Jim at the practice space for the circus troupe he's in. We spent some time brainstorming and trying to figure out the kinds of things he might want to do. Car jumping, breathing fire, juggling. Looking around at the circus things, I realized that this might be the angle we need. Maybe Jim is this lovesick clown, and a lot of the action can be circus related. You know, a beautiful aerialist, a strong man standing in his way. I'm starting to get really excited about this idea. And that's kind of where you want to end up. You want to land on a concept that gives you a lot of energy and enthusiasm, and you can use that enthusiasm to motivate the people you're going to be working with. Okay, I think that's all on my video on how to come up with ideas. Let's recap. Use your brain. Think a lot. Oh, wow. We really covered all the ground territory. Well, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.